there guys, welcome to the channel Talking with Jay Springer. Today's video, I'm giving you my top 10 favourite, not best, favourite directors in my opinion. Of course this list can change every single day and of course we're going to have differences, but don't forget to let me know yours in the comment section down below. I'd love to get into a great conversation on movie directors. But without further ado guys, let's just jump straight into it. Coming in at number 10 guys, it is Tim Burton. Now Tim Burton, I know a friend of mine going through college was a massive fan, should I say, of Tim Burton. She really appreciated his creativity, the whole fantasy side of him. He really just knows how to put something from pen and paper onto the screen and really create something great, especially for kids and teenagers, which is something special. So she grew up watching him. I never really watched a lot of his stuff. I think I'd just seen Edward Scissorhands. That was the only one really. But as I've gone through, I've seen Beetlejuice, I've seen Alice in Wonderland, Batman 1989, Batman Returns. There's a ton of movies this guy's made and I really got to appreciate his creativity. At the moment, he's not really creating a lot of great stuff right at this moment, so I can't really put him up there with the best, but he definitely deserves that 10th place spot. Coming in at number 9 guys, it is Zack Snyder. Now this is a bit of a judgy one because a lot of people would say Tim Burton is the better director, but this is favourite of course, this is my preference. It's depending on what I watch. Now Tim Burton, as I said, I haven't watched a ton of his stuff, but I've gone back to learn to appreciate a lot of his stuff, where Zack Snyder, I've started to really appreciate what he does right now really, especially when it comes to us getting that Zack Snyder cut when it comes to Batman vs Superman and Justice League. I really would love to see his cut on that, but yeah, he's done them two movies. He's done Man of Steel, Watchmen, which I'm a massive fan of that movie, as well as 300. I really love all of his movies which he really done, and I'm going back and watching a lot more of these directors that I'm mentioning of their movies and really starting to learn and appreciate their craft and when they make these movies and how they make these movies. It's something special. I think Zack Snyder is one of these modern day directors which is definitely going to be here for a long time, and really a lot of people are going to appreciate his work. Coming in at number 8 guys, I may pronounce this one wrong, but it's Denis Villeneuve. I'm not too sure how you pronounce that, I do apologise, but this guy's work is absolutely amazing. Now only been over the last 3 years I've really got to see this guy's work. He really just knows how to really create something special on the screen, and really what I like about this guy is his relationship between the cast members and the characters on the screen. He really knows how to work a character, and I really appreciate that when it comes to movies. Now he's done movies as of late when it comes to Blade Runner 2049, obviously the sequel to the original Blade Runner of course, which I really did enjoy. Also Arrival, which is a sci-fi movie as of late which everybody either loves or everybody dislikes. Also Sicario, another movie which I haven't seen but a lot of people really have spoken a lot about, but the main movie for me is Prisoners. Now Prisoners is a movie for me which is definitely a top tier list movie. I really do love it because the movie holds suspense, drama, intensity, emotions, and these characters on screen are just really trying to dive deep into a great storyline. So this guy just knows how to really contend when it comes to storylines, characters, performances. This guy really works with his cast really well and characters, which I really do appreciate. At number 7 we have, in my personal opinion, the king of horror when it comes to James Wan. I really do appreciate this guy. Now he doesn't just do horror, which is even better because he's tried to really reach out and do multiple types of movies. Now the movies that I've seen that he's done really are Aquaman, especially one of the newest movies which really I really enjoyed. It's one of the best DC movies in my opinion right now. Really well done to him in that one. Also obviously Fast and Furious 7, another type of movie yet again, really taking on the action side of things there, but also the racing side of things. I really think he done a good job with Furious 7. Also how he handled the whole Paul Walker situation in that movie, I felt like he done a good job there as well. Another movie is obviously Insidious. Insidious is one of his well-known ones, and obviously Saw and Conjuring. Them three obviously are his main horror movies in my opinion, showing his creativity, his knowledge and his expertise in the horror genre. At number 6 guys, now this is a judgmental one. This is probably going to offend a lot of people, but this is my personal list. This is Quentin Tarantino. Now hear me out guys, I have not seen a lot of Quentin Tarantino's movies. I've recently seen the new movie, obviously, which is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I really got to see his craft in that, and obviously I've seen him do, obviously, Kill Bill movies. They're the only movies I've really seen of Quentin Tarantino. I need to see a lot more of him, but I've obviously seen clips. I've seen the guy's work behind the scenes and stuff. I've seen things and heard things about this guy, and really know why a lot of people appreciate and love this guy and love his movies. So obviously I still need to see the movies of like Pulp Fiction, Django Unchained, The Hateful Eight. These are all movies which everybody speaks about and gives 10s out of 10s, 9 out of 10s and stuff like that, really high ratings. So I've obviously still got to learn about some of these directors and really see their art and their work on the screen still. So that is why Quentin Tarantino goes at number 6. But for a director which I've only seen 2 or 3 movies of, above the directors which I've mentioned, really goes to show my appreciation for his art and craft. At number 5, guys, we have Ridley Scott. In my opinion, this guy is amazing. He really knows how to make a lot of different type of movies yet again. Really, I think he prefers the sci-fi type of movies, which is great, of course, because there isn't a lot of sci-fi directors out there. That's the one thing I feel that they've fallen flat on, especially in the modern day. Now, obviously, if we look at his resume, he's got the likes of, obviously, Gladiator, a top-class movie, Alien, again, a top-class sci-fi movie, Blade Runner, the original, which is a top-class movie again, The Martian, one of my favourite space movies, Prometheus, and Black Hawk Down. All different types of movies, and this guy is absolutely great. Now, Ridley Scott hasn't done a lot of modern day stuff. All of his movies are classics from the past, so that's why he's at number 5 on my list. I would love to see him come back out and do a couple more movies, really earn his spot up in that further in the list. Coming in at number 4, guys, it is Steven Spielberg. Of course, Steven Spielberg was going to be in this list. This guy just knows how to make hit after hit after hit. Now, this guy's had a lot of criticism in the past, and he's made so many great movies. We can go back to Schindler's List, one of the top-known movies. Now, me personally, I haven't watched the whole movie, but I've seen clips and really got to see what he could do with that movie, and I would love to sit there and watch the whole movie. I've seen E.T., which he made, of course, Warhorse, which is a more recent one, Indiana Jones, Ready Player One. Ready Player One I've still got to watch. I've actually read most of the book and not watched the movie yet, which is crazy, so I've got to watch that one. Jurassic Park, which is great, of course, as well as War of the Worlds. This guy really likes to dive deep into different genres of the movie industry. That is one thing I really do appreciate in a director, and really this guy really knows how to make hit after hit, and that is why he consistently stays up there with the best of the directors, and that's why he's at number 4 in my list. At number 3, guys, we have James Cameron. Of course, James Cameron is one of the well-known directors all the way around the world. He just makes top-class movies again. We start off with the likes of all the Terminator movies that he's made. Terminator is such a special sci-fi action-packed franchise, which is still going today, which is absolutely crazy. Another movie he's made, of course, is the Avatar, and also continuously, obviously, writing the Avatars. I think he's made up to like number 5, if I remember rightly. He's written so many, and they're still in production and stuff, so this guy's still going today, which is an advantage over many of the other directors in this list, of course, because Avatar, especially the first one, was the longest, highest grossing movie, of course, until Endgame beating it. But then we have Titanic, of course, one of the well-known stories around the movie industry, of course, with some top-class performances, a story which is still remembered today and spoke about today as well. Another one is True Lies as well. I really do enjoy that movie. But another one for me is Alita Battle Angel, a newest type of movie for him, which I really have learned to appreciate that movie and what they've done, and I'm looking forward to seeing if they do another one. I'm hoping they do, because it really left it on a cliffhanger, and the whole movie itself, the performances, the characters, the visuals was absolutely amazing, and just goes to show James Cameron's work behind the screens as the director is just absolutely amazing. Coming in at number 2 is Peter Jackson. Now, Peter Jackson, the only downfall with this guy is he still ain't doing a lot of modern day stuff, which I'd love for him to do. The latest stuff that he's done, of course, is the Hobbit trilogy. I really do appreciate what he's done in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogy. From my childhood, growing up watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy, then watching the Hobbit movies, really learned to appreciate the stuff that goes into that, especially when it comes to obviously the visuals, the editing, the cast itself. Picking the cast as well is tough. The whole costume design, everything comes together, creates these masterpiece franchises. It's just absolutely great, showing the director's obviously role there. Another thing is King Kong as well. I really did enjoy the King Kong Peter Jackson version. I think Peter Jackson's King Kong is better than the new one in my opinion. And coming from my childhood, all these movies when it comes to Peter Jackson movies are special. But as mentioned, the only downfall for him missing out on top spot is his modern day movies. I'd love to see him create more, hopefully get involved in a lot more fantasy type stuff, especially when it comes to the Lord of the Rings and stuff. I'd love to see him create some new stuff, maybe a Game of Thrones movie, get his hands on that, would be absolutely great. Coming in at number 1, and my favourite director right now, Christopher Nolan. Now, Christopher Nolan in general just makes hit after hit. Now, to compete with the likes of obviously Peter Jackson and James Cameron is a tough job. I think this guy's the best one out of the three. It's took me a long time to really figure out this list, because directors have a tough job and you really have to learn what a director's job is, what they have to do behind the scenes, and what they did for these certain type of movies. So I've done a lot of research into it and really decided on obviously awards and what movies they've made, my actual personal favourite movies and stuff like that. It took a lot of stuff going into this list. But with Christopher Nolan, just looking at the movies in general, the scores that these movies have got, the awards this guy has won, it just goes to show how great he is. Inception, a top class movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and a great cast behind that movie. Really one of them perfect movies which you can just watch over and over again. It can be quite confusing, but it really gets your mind working. I love them type of movies. Interstellar, a movie which I haven't watched yet, I'll be honest with you guys. I still have to watch it, but a lot of people really rated it very highly and one of the best space movies. Another one is Memento. I've watched it once, but I do have to rewatch it because I can't really remember what actually happens in the movie. It's actually crazy because some people actually say that's a masterpiece of a movie and I should watch it. I watched it many years ago. Obviously, it came out in 2000 and I must have watched it about 2002. And I was only young, so I wasn't really into movies as much as I am now. Or, well, not into movies, but more understanding the movies, how they're made and stuff. Obviously, going through media, I've really learnt a lot. But really, we go into The Prestige, another great movie. Dunkirk is one of his recent ones, really showing his modern day stuff in Dunkirk still. But the one for me is the Batman Dark Knight trilogy, of course. That is something that really is special. I've never seen the Batman done so well in a movie. That's something so special, and Christopher Nolan gave us that. When it comes to Batman Begins, a top class movie, really introducing the origin story of the Batman with obviously a great cast behind it. Then we got one of the best movies ever, let alone superhero movies, in The Dark Knight, of course. Really great, and obviously a lot behind that is because of Christopher Nolan. And then we have The Dark Knight Rises, the weakest one in my opinion out of the three, but really introducing Bane quite well with Tom Hardy in the DC universe. And then obviously Catwoman and obviously Future Robin and stuff. And it was just a great movie overall. So really a great trilogy, which is very hard to do. So guys, that is my top 10 favourite directors right now, of course. Don't forget to let me know yours in the comment section down below. I know you guys are going to have different lists, but that's the fun of it. Learning whose preferences are what and opinions and stuff is absolutely great. Talking about movies is one of my favourite things, of course. If you enjoyed this video, please do smash up that thumbs up button because it helps the video out, helps the channel out, and I really am grateful, of course. As well, if you're new here guys, consider subscribing and hitting that bell for much more movies and TV series content. Don't forget to check out the other video which I uploaded earlier on in the week, which is the top 10 film trilogies. Also, there's another video on the channel where I talk about my favourite movies from every year since I was born, which is a tough video to do, but hopefully you guys enjoy that and all the stuff on the channel. We've got best film franchises coming up, best actresses, best actors, best movie sequels, underrated movies, and so much more. Thank you very much for watching. I've been me, you've been you, and I'll see you next time, guys, on Talking with Jay Springer.